As a disclaimer, Monster Fuckers Anonymous is indeed about wanting to love and have sex with monsters, but we want to make things extremely clear from the get-go. Not all of the chosen monsters will be sapient, but we will not be endorsing zoophilia or bestiality. We will be as transparent and ethical as possible, while also sex positive and mostly having fun.
Vampires that stalk in the night, werewolves that howl to the moon, dragons that loom over the skies. These monsters and more have plagued mortals for millennia, clouding our minds with one singular thought.
Can we fuck 'em?
Fiction or reality, which one should we be? Don't think that I'm that naive to see the fiction or reality of things you've done to me. Now all this stupid shit is on repeat.
Hello, one and all, and welcome back to another fantastic, stupendous, wonderful episode of MFA, aka Monster Fuckers Anonymous, a show where we talk about monsters, talk about lore, talk about their media representation, and the rating on a scale of 1 to 10, whether or not you, laying back in bed, drifting off into sleep, knowing that you have work to do, but deciding, nah, I'd rather just listen to a podcast and zone out, whether or not you should be having sex with those monsters. I am your colorful creature consultant cleric here, and with me, as always, is our tenacious troubadour of tentacle analyst, Joe.
I don't even listen to podcasts on my own time. Like, I really need to focus so hard to listen to any podcast. I guess besides our own, because I don't really care about it.
Okay. That makes me feel some ways, but, you know, I work hard on this, Joe, and you don't even listen. And of course, I force Kes to work on it, but you know, it's in the spirit of it.
I listen to all of the drafts. I don't know if you do that.
So today we're going to be talking about. Joe, how you been? We haven't really caught up in a little bit. How you been?
I am sick. How are you?
Oh my God, we're twinning yet again. I'm sick as well. Don't fucking cry in my ear like that. Keep it professional.
Right. What the fuck?
But yeah, we are feeling a little bit off, but we want to still make an episode for y'all. Which
I found out I was gluten intolerant.
Did you?
Yeah.
So
I am.
Do you have celiacs? Is that what it is?
I don't know if it's straight up celiac. Like, I don't know what constitutes it as straight up celiacs, but
is there a difference between gluten intolerance and celiac disease?
Presumably, there's like a whole mucus situation with celiacs, but like for me, it's just like nausea and migraine and stuff like that.
So no beer, no pasta.
To be so, like, I don't even know. I guess just like finally this is the day where I'm not delusional anymore, because after every time I would have pasta, I would just be like, oh, this is just how you're supposed to feel every time you eat pasta. You just feel like going to sleep and having a headache, right? Everybody, we have that. Everyone gets that. No. And also I was like, why does beer kill me so hard? It's because of the wheat. I was like, I thought it was just the carbonation, but like, yeah, I can have cider, which might have wheat. Oh yeah, because I don't know. Does it? I don't know. Whatever.
I don't think ciders have wheat because there's like apple cider and like shit like that.
So that's been my fun adulthood food intolerance.
We don't have to include that in the episode. We could cut that.
No, it's fun to talk about it.
Okay. All right, well, Joe, I'm glad you're at least eating what you can and do all that. For me, I'm just ill, just extremely. Like, I get violently ill every couple of weeks. It's my body forcing me to rest.
Yes.
So it makes me violently ill, which is always fun. But it's been like that since childhood, so it is what it is. We are talking about our sickness and what it does to us.
Do you know what else is a sickness?
What is a sickness, Joe?
Laziness, not being on a grind set.
100% grind. Rise and grind. I want you to pull up that creatine, take it up. Start chunking that shit. Rise and bust right as you get up and then start eating and then start working out. If you're not grinding 23 hours of the day and the 1 hour is to prep for grinding, then you ain't grinding. You're sninding. You're snoozing. And you're losing.
You're sleepwalking. Your eyes aren't open.
You're actually a sleepwalker.
You're a white walker.
You're a White Walker. You are beyond the wall. Jon Snow will be killing the king.
I don't know anything about Game of
We're
Thrones.
actually going to be... Yeah, that's where that bit ends. But anyways, we're finishing out our series on the 7 deadly sins with the final sin that we've been meaning to talk about, which is sloth. Sloth. Joe, what's your opinion on sloth?
It's probably my worst sin, but also I'm disabled, so
That's no excuse. No, I'm kidding. I'm going to stop that bit right there. I'm going to stop that bit right there.
no, yeah. I think sloth is really interesting. Kess was like getting into it earlier and was like, hey, so like sloth, interestingly, might not really even be about like laziness per se, but just like not contributing to your family farm or the church.
Yeah. What I've learned from doing some research, especially with the pick that I did, which is kind of like an origin of sloth a little bit, is that it's not outright laziness. It's convenience. It's over convenience. So it's like you
Stagnation.
Yeah. So you start like relying on, instead of doing your tasks yourself, you start relying on other inventions, other things, other beings or other things to do the task for you. And you end up just becoming more and more just like greedy and self-indulgent instead of actually trying, because you're like, I have this to do.
Relying on AI.
Yeah, actually, which it ties into the pick that I have with technology, but we'll get into that when we get into that. But that's what sloth. It's not just outright laziness. It's not sleeping all the time. It's not like what people usually think is like he always sleeps. He does nothing. It's more of you take the easy way out. And I think that's a good example of what sloth is. You're always going to take the convenient route.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. I think the series of doing the 7 deadly sins has a little bit been eye-opening, at least to me. I don't know if it's a weird way to describe it, of what the sins actually are and how they interact with each other. Like there's a lot of
drama.
Shout out. There's a lot of overlap, which I think is interesting. There's a lot of overlap of what the sins interact with each other and how sloth influences greed, influences pride, influences wrath, and so. I think we have just, when you boil it down, you lose a lot of what could be a deeper meaning. And I wonder if that's why, we have these symbols of things, just because it's like, if we just boil it down, you lose the impact of what it is in our daily lives. I don't know if I just rambled and it made no sense.
You blacked out. It's been 15 minutes. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, but I'm going to go back to some of my roots here and talk about a really fucking cool monster that I particularly love. I did have to cheat a little bit because it turns out creatures, if you just type in lazy monster or sloth monster, you're not going to get monsters that are necessarily represented by sloth. So I will be bringing something a little bit unconventional to our topic.
And I'm fine with that, where I'm going to go a little bit traditional, you're going unconventional, and we'll see where we meet in the middle with Kez. So with that, y'all know how the show works by now. I've brought a sloth monster that I think represents sloth. Joe has brought one. Kez has brought a mystery one that we have no idea about. And by the end of the episode, we will have ranked all 3 to which one is the most desirable of the 3 monsters we've chosen. And we'll figure it out. And, have fun. Okay, I can do this. Hold on. Wow! Sorry, that took so much effort to do that. Like, I think I almost passed out. I genuinely almost fucking passed out doing that. Like my head just like there are spots right now. Give me a second. Let's
okay.
While I while I recover, you start.
All right,
pick your monster.
I will be talking about the Baku, the Dream Eater. The Baku is an East Asian mythological creature created from the extra parts undesignated to existing animals. Formed from the runoff, the Baku takes on an apotropaic or defensive role of one's worst nightmares when called upon. Also lovingly entitled the Dream Eater, commonly children would pray to the Baku, making charms to ensure a good night's sleep. However, some of the children would have to learn that the Baku could turn into an antibiotic, and not only take the nightmares, but the hopes and dreams of the future. In some extreme cases, perhaps the desire to get out of bed altogether. So, I've always been obsessed with chimeras. I've always sort of been obsessed with the concept of like I guess not. I don't really view it as like the gods getting lazy and like putting this creature together, but I think all of the like the tapir. I don't know what other animals consistently the Baku's like body is made out of.
Isn't like
but I think
elephant? Isn't like pig?
something like that.
Like
Like
a boar?
I think they're all symbolically like these are animals known for to mean sleep or to mean whatever. In Korean, if you dream about a pig, it's like good luck. Like there's just so many things that you could potentially dream about. And I've, as someone who has like horrible multiple sleep disorders, the idea of a creature who in moderation you can pray to and be like, can you just fucking help me? I have to like get to a job interview tomorrow morning. I
would
just
like to be rested, please.
I'd love to be rested. Like any other night, I don't have to be rested. But if I can just get the job and then worry about the rest, then, you know, blah, 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 whatever.
Yeah. I always like chimeras. Chimeras are always been interesting to me, especially from like chimera ants. Shout out Hunter x Hunter. I think it's less of like the gods. I think you said. I think it's less of the gods getting lazy and more of like combining the attributes of these things to make something deadly or more amazing. I think is what it's what's more unique. Like usual chimeras are like a lion, a goat, and a snake.
Snake.
Yes, and that's such an interesting combination just for anything. So I think combining things to make something more to symbolize something else, or like you said, like it's animal symbolism. I think it's super. I am totally for. I think it's pretty cool. So I'm on board for the Baku right now.
Yeah. There is something really interesting about the creation of it, like potentially being like the gods were lazy almost is like some of the assumption of the creation myth of this creature. But for the most part, as far as like personality wise, I know that there's a lot of like Bakus in like manga and anime.
Yes.
There's like a Vocaloid song with like the Baku concept. And I don't know what the through line is necessarily, but it feels like Dream Eaters, personality wise, they're all people who understand that they have this greater purpose. So it could make them seem maybe a little haughty in some cases.
Yeah, it's somebody who's like, I know that I'm doing a good deed. I know I'm helping you. Like, you need my help. Of course you do, you poor ugly piece of shit. Of course you need my help. Grabbing your cheeks, and you're just like, okay.
Yeah.
I just asked to just like I just said, Mr. Sandman, grab me a dream, and you were like, you piece of shit. I love
Car door, hook hand. Yeah.
But I think that's I do like the holier than thou aspect of it, of somebody trying to assist you with your sleep, because sleep is such an important part of our just natural lives. So that's why I think we tie such importance to it.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I will need help coming up with like something maybe we can ground the personality or scenario in. I
am so down for that. I can do the good and the bad of what I'm thinking at the moment. I will say one of my only interpretations of the Baku is from Digimon. There is a Digimon that is based on the Baku. I don't remember I think it is Bakuman, genuinely. But it is
Bakugan?
One that is Bakugan. We could talk about Bakugan monsters. That could be an whole episode. Add it to the list, guys.
Bakuman is also a manga series. Hang on.
Oh, wow. I think there is a Digimon based on a Baku. I think just typing that is easier.
Yes, there is.
Yeah. But it's usually tied with dreams. Like, he usually eats nightmares or he eats dreams. Yeah. He's a big old elephant. He's like more mammoth based than tapir based.
Oh, interesting.
So that's my main frame of reference for everybody. That's what I was bringing that up for. Besides, I like talking about Digimon. But for me, if I were to craft a personality for this, if we're going on the good end of somebody who really wants to help you sleep, I would. There's people who like are cuddle doctors.
Yes.
They like you can like pay someone to help you. For those of you who don't know, you can pay somebody who are professional cuddlers who will come there and make you feel comfortable, make you feel okay, and That's a service. That's an individual based on service. Don't assume that all of them are going to make you do that.
Yes, of course.
Don't hire one and then expect that. But if you find one, I don't know, live your life. But somebody who I think is like a professional cuddler. You're having trouble sleeping. I imagine you've been having rough nights, nightmares, insomnia, whatever. You're desperate. You've tried teas. You've tried medicine. You've tried white noise. You've tried Paramore. Nothing's working. So you go online and you just go on the most desperate thing. You see professional cuddler and you see this woman and you're like, sure, fuck it. I'm going to hire this person. They come in. They're one of the most beautiful people you've ever met. It's not like even beautiful. I don't actually want to call it beautiful. It's comforting. You know how somebody has like a face that looks comforting, like nice, like a
huge
like
boobs.
Yeah, definitely. Huge knockers. And if they're huge knockers, either way. And they come in, they're like, hey, listen, I'm just here to help you. Don't worry about it. Like, if you feel uncomfortable at any moment, you can go. Like, I can leave. There's no issue. So come on. You have a talk. They talk about boundaries. You guys set it up. And then they start like, they get into bed. They obviously, you're the little spoon. They big spoon you. Like, no matter how big you are the little spoon.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're able to completely wrap themselves around you. And there's such warmth. They get you some warm milk. If you're lactose intolerant, suffer. And then you drink and you like are able to drift off with this person like soothing voice and just be able to relax. And you finally have a good night of sleep.
What if it's
and then
not cow's milk?
I mean, oat milk. You can drink oat milk. Fine. You can have warm oat
like
milk.
Not even why? How about like
Like what? No. Break it down for me.
Woman's milk.
Say it. No. Say it. I want you to say it with confidence.
Tapir milk.
No, that's not what it is.
Elephant milk.
Joe was referring to breast milk.
Breast milk. All
and
milk is breast milk.
Shut up. But honestly, yeah, we can add that into it. Maybe if we want to get this a little bit sexier scenario than just like one that's like very comforting, which if you want to just leave it in the comforting zone, leave it there. That's fine for you. If you want to go a little bit further, straight up whips out like, and then you're like, I would actually really love some milk. Like they're like, you want some? It's like, yeah. Whip out the titty, huge one, starts lactating right in front of you. Breath, and you just like, and you finally just drift off in their lap while you're sucking on the milk bags.
Yeah.
What do you think, Joe? What do you think about that?
I've been really into breeding lately, so I think all kind of lactating is beautiful and is great.
Joe, low key, same. I get you.
So if
that was us.
If we can get we're clapping hands, clapping other body parts. But
no, so I think I like that of this like comforting person who helps you sleep. I don't even want to make a bad scenario because I really don't see the only bad scenario would be if they're like the holier than thou, hotty toppy, like if they were a sleep doctor. That's where I think it is. Right.
Like if they leaned in on the like, call me in moderation, call on me in moderation because I could turn you into the next sloth monster.
Yeah. If they ended up being more of, you become more dependent on them and they're like, you have to rely on me. It's just me. I'm the only thing that can help you sleep. You end up becoming like addicted to them. Like you can't sleep without them anymore. And then you end up giving them more money. And then it just becomes like an endless cycle of negativity there. I imagine that's where it becomes more negative. So if you're it's toting the fine line, but I like the middle ground that we put of someone who helps you sleep, whether or not through sex and breast milk or just through comfort. And whether or not it goes bad or goes into one or more dependence, it depends on your level of, if you can separate fact from fiction, Because if you end up falling in love with each other, that's a whole different story,
Yeah.
No, you're smiling.
Right.
What are you thinking?
No, just breast milk.
Joe heard breast milk and tuned out like the past 3 minutes of me talking.
No, I didn't. Joe's just
thinking about milky titties.
Yes, I am. I don't know. Either this is like a tapir mommy or it is like a guy in a suit in a Vocaloid song. Or
I would say if we're going for, like I said, a negative one, I would say it's either a sleep doctor or a mattress salesman who charges you a new, like way too much money to help you sleep.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like, my beds are the best in the business. If you want to sleep, $5,000. You're like, I can't afford that. Well, then you can go for a lower cost model. I don't know if you'll sleep well. And you buy the lower cost one.
It won't be the best sleep of your dreams.
Yeah.
But
I know
sleep.
This one, like anyone who has insomnia has been able to sleep in this bed, but no, you can go for the other one. You can try it.
Yeah.
Give it a shot. And you're just like, oh, okay, we'll pay. He's like, thank you. Hey, if you ever need a pillow, pillow's extra. But
Well,
I like the taper. I like the taper mommy better.
I like the taper mommy. If we jumping right into the scale, you just have to dream.
Yeah, that's super easy. That's super accessible. Yeah, I was gonna say, they're just in the dream realm?
Pretty much. Like if they're blessed by the gods, I think the assumption is that they're like a spirit, like a dream eater. I don't know if that makes them necessarily like. I don't think they're a god. I think they're just like a divine creature,
like a spirit. Yeah, like a celestial.
Yeah.
So I would, if you're saying that they're available, and if you just have to dream, they're wanderers. They kind of just go wherever they want. I would argue this is a 10. Genuinely.
Yeah, honestly, solid. I, for whatever reason, not for whatever reason, I'm going to go more of the 9 direction just because, I don't know, just because you dream, it doesn't make you all the time accessible. You're not going to remember all of your dreams.
That's true. You could also argue that anytime that you don't remember a dream is when a Baku comes into your dreams.
Yeah. I don't know if there's a REM sleep stipulation at all.
True. So maybe I'll back it up to a 9 because I was also like, what if you get the holier than thou Baku?
Yeah.
And then there's a whole issue. But I would say 9. I think 9 is fair. Genuinely. Same, Joe?
Yeah.
All right, let's go for
9 before you fucking did.
Okay, how about you shut the fuck up? I was confirmed. So attractiveness. Do you have a picture of what the Baku looks like in its base form?
There are a lot of forms. Let me look it up. So the one that I'm the most familiar with is this tapir form. So we got this kind of scary looking thing. I guess the one thing about the Baku is that you're not really ever, I don't know, you're not necessarily, it's not that you're supposed to not see them, it's just that you're dreaming. So it always looks like literally anything else.
I will say, base form, kind of scary. Not super into it, but also kind of cool.
Yeah.
But I like to go with our taper mommy scenario here. So I'm gonna factor both of those in. Because in the brain, I'm gonna imagine the Baku shapeshifts into in the modern day. If you meet them in real life, shapeshifts into that form. Sometimes there's half and half forms. I think that's pretty fair. Based on drowsy, that's nice. So
the drowsy is based on the Baku, not the other way around.
I meant, you know what I meant.
Yes, I did.
But if that's the case,
I'm gonna say 7.
I'll give this. I like the form that I made in our mind of I like big titty milk mommer. I'll give this a 7 as well. Actually, no, I'll give this an 8. I'm a big, for those of you who may not know, and I'll put it on the internet. I think I've said it before. I'm a big fan of big boobies, especially nowadays. Big milky boobies. Big. Give me you put some milkers in my face, I'm running. Anyways, so I think 8 for me in the scenario that we've concocted. Anyways,
Audacity.
Audacity. This is a little bit audacious, but not that bad.
A little bit. I would say 7.
Yeah, you're fucking a dream demon. Not a dream demon, but a dream spirit. So you have to convince it in the dreams. You have to go through a whole conversation. It's not just eating.
Dream.
So I wouldn't say this is a 9 or an 8, or I would give this. I think I would do a 6. For me, it's a little bit less than possible. A little bit less than not crazy, but it's a little bit
Yeah. That makes sense.
Right. Finally, parental approval. Would our Christian immigrant parents approve if we brought the Baku home?
Yeah, Mom and Dad. I want to marry a dream that I've had.
Well, that's very interesting. Psych. Let's get that. Let's get them in there.
Psych. Say psych.
Say psych right now. Say psych.
Please say psych right now.
Say psych. It depends because they're shapeshifters. So if they can shapeshift outside of the dream realm, if they can come out of the dream realm, and shapeshift, then that's fine. I think that's A-okay. But if they can't and they're just a dream, you're not getting your parents' approval to have a dream. Even if they like invade your parents' dream and are like, you love this person, you love and support them.
Yeah, right. I was gonna
that's not
say,
approval.
What
That
if we
is-
just took our parents away for our autonomy away and we brainwashed them while they were sleeping?
No, that's not approval.
No.
So unfortunately, I think we have to give this a 1. If they're trapped in the dream
no,
realm,
not 1. I'm gonna say 5.
I'll give this a 3. I'll push it up.
Okay.
You're right. I'll push it up. I think a 3 is fair, especially but it's mostly because if they're not on the outside of the dream world, they're just in the dreams. There's no way for that interaction to work.
Yeah.
So with that, we're gonna both take a little nap and dream up what the math of their scores are gonna be, right, Joe? Ooh, that was a great nap. Wow, you are energized, Joe. With that energy, do you know what the scores are?
Oh God. Yeah, I do. I'm so excited by numbers. I have no sloth in my body. I'm so sick. Cleric. So your overall score is a 6.5. My overall score is a 7, which gives the Baku a 6.8. That is extremely fucking good.
Yeah, for our scoring system, that's actually pretty excellent. So
I can't find the sheet that has all of the scores on it, but it's pretty good.
It's high up there. That would be, I think that makes into the top 15 because that's close to 7, and I think the top 10 are all same buffs.
Yeah, that's true. I think so.
The closest we've only had like two 9s, like 3 or 4 8s, and then a whole bunch of 7s.
Yeah.
So it's right there. It should be cracking the top 10 and the top 15. I don't know. We'll figure it out by the end of the episode or something.
The Jorogumo and the Baku have the same 6.8.
Oh, nice. I like that. You know, keeping it together. I like it. Anyways, so Joe, you went a little bit untraditional with the pick of the Baku for Sloth. So I'm going to go completely in the opposite direction of extremely traditional, and choose something that represents literal sloth, and that will be the belligerent Belphegor.
Wow.
Wow! Before time had begun, the Lord above created angels to magnify his glory, angels who would sing his endless praises. But when some angels coveted God's throne, a rebellion split the heavens in half. All angels chose a side, except for one. One angel, content with their machinations, fought neither for their father nor the rebellious son. When the fighting subsided, the angels who rebelled were cast out into an endless pit. But the angel who did nothing did not go unnoticed. Angered by their laziness, their inaction, God cast out this angel to become a demon, the demon lord of Sloth, Belphegor. Belphegor. So, this is where the definition of sloth really gets lost. Because Belphegor isn't just about sheer laziness. He's really not. He's not about not doing anything. He's not about just stopping and doing whatever you want.
Contentment.
Yeah, is more what his game. What Belphegor does, which I think is super interesting, and when I was researching, I was like, wow, this actually makes me like I like him as a demon a lot more. Is Belphegor introduces like machines, like he introduces technology, and he gets you. Basically, digital monsters. Belphegor monsters. But no, what he does is he gives you technology. Like he'll find somebody who's like an inventor and then be like, hey, here's something that you can do that'll change the world. That if you do this, it'll eliminate the need to like ever use cars again. We can teleport. But then the person will be like, yeah, of course. I want to make things like I want to make the world a better place. Starts working at it. But then it's like, it gets so wrapped up in it, loses sight of everything. That innovation makes people lazier and not wanting to do what they want to do, not really wanting to try and put effort. But then they get the inventor gets paranoid. People are going to steal my invention. People are going to do this. So I'm not even going to do anything. I'm just going to hold myself in my little studio and just work and work and work and work to get it right. But it'll never be right because the designs that Belphegor gave you are too complex. So in trying to be like this innovator to expect the world, you've just become a shut-in, and you've done nothing. You've become paranoid and greedy about your inventions.
Interesting. Okay.
So, like, he introduces inventions to make the world a worse place, to make it a less more efficient but more
AI
toxic place. Yeah, a little bit. That's the thought process here, because Belphegor. Some interesting little tidbit facts with Belphegor is he, like, when the angels above all rebelled, like Lucifer had his rebellion and shit, Belphegor was like, nah, I'm not gonna join God's or your side. I'm just gonna chill. Like, I'm just gonna chill, like, with my machines. That's it. And then once the rebellion stopped, God was like, you didn't fight for me. He's like, but I didn't fight for the other side, so we're good, right? He's like, no, get the fuck out of here. Yeah, we're good. Like, he's get the fuck out. So he gets kicked out. All the demons who also are now, like, all the angels got kicked out who are now demons, are just like, dog, fuck Belphegor. He didn't help us. But Belphegor goes to Lucifer, is like, hey, listen, how about this? I know I didn't help you. Well, let's be real. Would you have wanted me to help you? And he's like, yes. And he's like, shut up. Anyways, I want to build you a grand city. I want to build the grand city here in the pit. How does that sound? He's like, okay, go for it. He does. He built this wonderful city. And he's like, all right, Belphegor's inventions are fucking amazing. He's going to be a demon lord. And everyone's like, what the fuck, Lucifer? We all follow you. He's like, yeah, but he made me a back scratcher that also does my taxes. I'm fucking with Belphegor. Belphegor's like, I'm just going to chill in the city and I'm never going to leave. I'm just going to mess around, make inventions, and tempt people from here. He's like, honestly, do what you got to do. That's Belphegor.
There's something so annoyingly hot about that.
Yeah, this is an unfortunate tech bro AI bro.
Mm-hmm.
This is somebody who introduces AIs but has no regulations on it. So AI
he
just
so happened to
industries.
be there at the beginning of time. So, like, he does kind of know everything.
Yeah, but it's never benevolent. It's always like, I'm introducing technology to eliminate jobs. Like, I'm like, Belphegor is the one who animated the factory industry to lose jobs.
Yeah.
Belphegor introduced AI art. Belphegor is a Disney CEO.
Belphegor is the fine print on those, like, face recognition programs that Microsoft put out that were like, how old are you? And then tricked everyone into, like, giving Microsoft their face.
Yep. That's what Belphegor does.
Yeah.
And that's one version of Belphegor. There is another version of Belphegor, which was written in some literature.
Belphegor from
in the
Umineko.
1800s.
Girl,
No.
Belphegor.
No. Get the fuck out of here.
One of the seven sisters. Okay.
Well, no. This Belphegor is the Prime Minister of France.
Oh, totally.
So I'm going to find what the book is called. Give me a moment. So in this 18th century book by De Palcy's The Dictionary Infernal, is that Belphegor serves as Hell's ambassador to France.
Mm-hmm.
Which, weird, but a whole thing over there. So he's like, he serves as like the French ambassador, basically. He's also apparently mortal enemies with Mary Magdalene. Like, him and her beef on site. Another thing that he has a beef with, which I think is super interesting, this is part I like a lot, is that Belphegor's angel equivalent, who he like always will do battle against, is the Seraphim of Beauty.
Interesting. Like, I guess that makes sense rather than like straight up laziness parallel, like the innovation parallel. That is really interesting.
Yeah, the reason it is because there's a little bit of dispute that since beauty is in the eye of the beholder, someone can find beauty in everything. But so it's like, that's where it's this dispute, because he's just like, if you find beauty in everything, that's bad. Because you should not be finding beauty in everything. You should be finding, like, you should just let things stagnate, let things rot, let things be what they're being. So if it becomes too influential in the world, beauty of it would all become tainted, causing ruination.
So interesting.
So I think it's a very interesting. I think he's probably my new favorite demon, because I just find it so fun that he's like someone who invents stuff. He invents stuff just to make your life lazier and just to ruin it. I think it's an interesting take on demonology, who are mostly like demons who are like wicked and just like want to destroy everything. He's like, I'm going to give you a self-driving car to eliminate bus drivers.
Yeah. And like, I wonder if Belphegor has the temperament to be like maybe tricked into his innovations being accidentally like helpful, but
yeah.
I don't know if he runs himself on pride of his inventions necessarily, rather than just like, I just want there to be less people to have to interact with, so I'm gonna make less jobs.
If I were to bank it up positive, in a surprisingly positive light, because appearance-wise, he either appears as a naked woman or a horned demon. Those are his two choices.
You know, maybe he's right.
Yeah.
Maybe he has a point.
Yeah, maybe he does. But if I were to paint a scenario of who it is in a more malevolent light, I do think it's like a tech bro who just doesn't understand that his inventions have consequences.
Like the future of inventions, for sure.
Like he's just wants to invent. Like he's like, listen, like you meet him. He's like, you join a company. He's like, this is the engineering bay. This is our main engineer, Bell. Bell is fucking amazing. You go over, you're like, oh hey, just like hunched over, not like but super tall, but like hunched over birds. Just like they're smaller than they are. Just making like robots that you've never seen before. You're like, wow, this is amazing. And you start talking to them, and you start realizing you're like, wow, you've made all these inventions. Like, yeah, I made a robot that can literally do the job of 100 people. It's like, okay, well, or what's the alternative? Like, if you introduce that, what's the alternative? It's like, I just want to invent it. I'm just putting it out into the market. What happens with it is what happens. I don't like. It's the philosophy, which is a bad philosophy. It's a philosophy is like it's just a tool. I'm not. It's a tool. Whatever people do with it is what people do with it. I just make it. That's the kind of guy he is. And if we're talking about sex wise, definitely a pillow princess that will do nothing for you, or will just use tools. Is just using toys. Will never penetrate you yourself. Just using toys.
But it's just like can you like just try this so I can like review it? Yeah.
Can you put this up your butt? Can you put this up your asshole real quick? Let me know how it goes.
Do you want to like do it together? Nah.
No, I'm good. No. Listen, I love you, and I'll probably just jerk off in the corner while you do this. But I built a machine to fuck you. Do you want it? It has speeds.
I can make it my dick.
I could. Yeah, I shaped it after my penis.
I can make it my tits.
Yeah. So you can have fun with that, I guess. No? You want to have actual human interaction? I don't know about that. I got an AI for that. Instead,
oh my god,
like a Roomba with like a fucking dildo spinning on it, just like love me, love me, love me, slut, and just like going in. You're like, that's it.
That's all you need, right?
DJ sex robot.
DJ sex.
That's the Tumba right on your clit.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything else that really needs to be said. We really nailed one down. Personality and everything otherwise.
Yeah, I don't really see a good side of this because again, it is a demon. To be very honest, to be fair,
he doesn't. Okay, kind of going into possibility. He doesn't leave the city.
When he does, he does leave this. Like he does interact with humans because he is the ambassador to France. So he does go interact with humanity, and he does leave. Like when he appears in front of people, it's again as a naked woman or the giant horde demon. But he does all his stuff when he's like in the demon realm. He's always been in Pandemonium, like the main city of the demon realm. Always been there. He's never left. Like that's his home base. Other demons have spread out. Like other demon lords have made their own territories. He's like, my city's Pandemonium. I'm not leaving that shit. I'm here. So he's a homebody, but he does eventually that's his home base. But he does venture out. He does influence the human world when he needs to or wants to. So I'd give this like a 4 in possibility because most likely you're not going to meet him.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say 3 with given all of that.
I'm a little generous with my own pick.
Yeah, I'll say 4 as well. I feel like out of everyone, maybe he's the easiest to get to. I mean, maybe not.
Yeah. You see, because you know where he is. If you end up going into the demon realm, wherever that be, you know he's going to be in Pandemonium. Other territories have other territories, but he's going to be there. Anyways, so that's basically that. Attractiveness. Yeah. I put some pictures in the chat that I want you to consider.
It was pretty good pictures.
Yeah, that's like he's not an ugly old demon. He's got horns. He's got
he's skinny. Just kidding.
Skinny legend.
Tiny waist.
He is snatched. He is a more goat-like, but also just like red with little hands. I like him, but I also, if we're going by his human forms, he's either a naked woman just titties out.
Have you seen his persona form?
I've not. Is it the one you put above here?
No, that is Belphegor Girl from Umineko. This is Belphegor in persona, just literally a guy in a toilet.
Yeah, so there is a reason for that. He is based on his original myth from the Mennonites. He is technically, this is not a joke. He is the god. He's the Lord of Farts.
Mm-hmm.
His name equals out to like farts,
Mm-hmm.
which is why he's usually pictured on a toilet.
Turlet.
Toilet. So I don't expect to that. You know, yeah. Actually, I found the official quote. I will read it here. Some rabbis claim that he must be worshipped on a toilet, with offerings being residual of one's digestion. This has led to some to conclude that Belphegor is the god Pet, Fart, or Serapis, while others believe that he is Praparus. Selden is cited by Banir is reporting that human victims are to be offered to him, that his priests partake of the flesh. Wyrus wrote that he always has an open mouth, attributing it to the name Belphegor, which according to Leor means service or split, and refers to it when he's worshipped in caves and people throw offerings through an air whore. So that is why he is pictured on the toilet, because it's a hole and where you are technically supposed to worship him.
Loves rimming.
2.
Attractiveness.
This has brought it down, to be very honest, to be very fair. Because if I have to be on the toilet to meet and talk to you, like, this is not great. Because I know everyone's like, the best inventions are always done on the toilet. Your best ideas, think in there.
Oh, yeah, that's right. In the bathroom.
Yeah. And so actually, for me, this would be easy because I spend an enormous amount of time in the bathroom with IBS.
Same. Right.
So,
like, you take multiple showers. I have a 5-hour skincare routine.
It works for us. For the two of us, this is an excellent choice. So I'm going to go, I'll change the score to a 6.
I was going to say 6 too.
Yeah. I don't like his personality because, like I said, tech bro with no
AI sucks.
qualms about morality is bad.
Yeah.
And that,
like, just for the pure sake of innovation, like space, like people who love space can be really cool, but they can also be really annoying if like they don't care about like civil rights. They just only care about space, you know?
My favorite tech bro moment is always just like, brother, we could just fix your problem with a chip.
Yeah.
What? I'm sorry.
We can't.
You're having chronic pain? Get a chip to remove that.
Just shock yourself. Just tase yourself until it's over.
Listen, I've installed myself with like 16 biohacks. I've changed my DNA. But I'm telling you, brother, you can do it too. What are the moral implications there? Morals? That's not how you spell space.
None of the letters and morals is in the word space.
There's an A, there's an S. Remove that man.
Kill him.
I know it's an area.
Shoot him.
Kill him. Make him a robot. Make him a robot. See how he feels.
Anyway.
Turn him into a cyborg.
Yeah.
No qualms about your humanity. Cyborg.
Yeah, so attractiveness 6. Absolutely.
Oh my god! I'm just imagining scenarios where like a billionaire is in the middle of a speech and he's like, and there's a punishment. He's like, one of the guys talks out of terms, like, cyborg him up, add another piece of technology to his life. It's like, I don't know, sir, please remove his penis, a cock. That's Belphegor.
What's the audacity? I want to hear your audacity.
This is a demon lord. This is a demon lord Elon Musk type.
But like, is it absolutely one? I feel like worse creatures have gotten like absolutely one.
True. You know what? You're right.
We gave Beelzebub girl an audacity of 1, but that's because she literally like
she was like
homicidal
she got to be
actively.
Belphegor seems like he fucks, but like, or he interacts with humanity. Because Beelzebub girl was the problem, was because she won't interact with you without her permission from her mother. In that one island, in that one space, and most likely she's gonna kill you. This is a guy who does whatever he wants. He's more open to it. If he wants to, he's gonna do it. So you know what? You're right. 1 isn't fair. 2.5.
2.
Yeah, you're gonna get 2.5 out of me most. Parental approval. So
it's probably pretty good.
For you, yeah. Knowing what you've told me about your parents, yeah. For a tech bro billionaire to pull up, easy. My parents hate Elon Musk. My parents have made it very clear that they do not like billionaires. My dad is just like, we shouldn't tax them too much, but billionaires shouldn't hoard that much wealth. And we're just like, you're almost there, King.
You're
almost there.
Almost there.
But in the long run, I think this would be a 4 if he was shapeshifted.
I think it makes it a 5 in my case. Like, it really could work. Could.
All right. I won't press you too much on that one. So,
good.
If that's the case, don't fucking tell me what to do. I don't know why. I was trying to be nice. And like, I was just like, I'm not going to bother you about your personal life. But no, you want to fucking make it about, you always want to have the last word, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Anyways, let's get to the numbers.
Okay.
Stop it. I want the last one.
All right, lazy towners, Belphegor. A very modest 4.1 altogether from Cleric, a 4.3 from me, which gives Belphegor a nice and healthy 4.2 right in the middle between the both of us.
That's fair. I think that's fine.
It lands Belphegor as our first 4.2 in between Zadkiel and Frost Giants.
What I've noticed? A lot of our celestial and demonic don't rank that high.
They're just kind of guys.
Yeah. Baphomet, what is it? What was the one with the J? G.
Gritty.
Grezek. That was the name. Grizalk.
Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of and then like Zacriel was ranked very low. So I think it's just very hard for Celestials and Demonics are very hard because they don't interact very much with the real world. And when they do interact, it's usually negative.
Mm-hmm.
When you see an angel or a demon, usually not a good sign. But
you gotta get out of there.
Speaking of not good signs, it's the time of the show where we get to Kez's mystery pick, producer pick.
Oh, yeah.
So, Joe, before we dive into it, what do you think Kez picked? Because Kez has been cryptic.
Sloth, Fomental Alchemist.
I don't think so. I think the past we've talked about them every episode, but I think for the last one they switch it up.
Sloth, Full Metal Alchemist is sexy, so I guess that would be 2, like
from Brotherhood.
Yeah, from Brotherhood. Also, 03.
You got taste. You got unique.
I have great taste. Thank you so much.
That there's just underbite there.
He's got muscles.
We barely see him. Oh, that's standards.
He dies immediately.
Yeah, he's there for like 30 seconds.
Yeah,
the most irrelevant homunculi. He did the most work, but the most irrelevant.
He did the most work. That's like the hugest thing. Yeah.
And that goes back to that theme of like was it the sins dying in the opposite way than they were supposed to?
Yep.
Or the opposite of their sin.
The slothful in hell, they are just forced to like be Sisyphus. Like they just have to move boulders.
Mm-hmm. And so in this world, all Sloth wanted to do was do nothing, but he died from working.
Yeah.
Like he died from movement. He died from his own thing.
He was really fast, which was really funny.
I like that combination of big boy speedy, you know?
Yeah. But couldn't control it.
Yeah, control the speed. I think it's fun. But anyways, Joe, are you ready to dive in?
Let's get into it.
3, 2, 1.
The subline is forget Barbie. It's about to be a lazy girl summer.
Okay, I'm going to look at it in 3, 2. Whoa.
Oh, is this an actual pick?
I think it might be. Okay, this is actually super interesting. I'm excited for this, genuinely.
The spirits of European myth claim dominion over many aspects of the mortal world, and that rings true for even the heat of a hot summer's day. When field workers toil instead of resting in the noon, they may incur the ire of Lady Midday. She will accost them with idle conversation or puzzling questions, and anyone who attempts to leave, change the subject, or fails to answer her will have their heads cut off or maladies befall them. Paludnitsa, as she is sometimes called, has many depictions across Europe, but some features persist.
She is often seen as a beautiful woman or an old hag who scares children away from crops and wields a sickle or a pair of shears to go about her work. She is the personification of sunstroke and only appears in the hottest part of the day.
Yeah, no, you're right. She doesn't want you to work that hard. She wants you to rest. She really does not like... Yeah, you know, she's someone who's like, she's somebody who encourages you to take time off for yourself. And I think that's neat.
Lunchtime is for lunch, not for extra working. That's what she sounds like.
If you make them work during lunchtime, you're dead. I'll kill you.
I'll kill you. Yeah.
I'll kill you. Which I think is hot.
There's kind of like a toxic positivity thing a little bit, like not entirely, but it is very much like the white girl who, like, when you tell her that you skipped lunch, she just all of a sudden, like, and this actually happens in real life, like the sun goes down and like the sky goes on fire, and then she summons crows from all around her, and she's just suddenly covered in birds and bugs, and her eyes roll in the back of her head, and she's like, "You skipped lunch," and then she gets you some lunch or something.
Yeah, that's happened to me a couple times. I totally understand.
Yeah. Yeah,
for sure.
And it's like, Jesus Christ, I just skipped lunch today. Like, tomorrow I will have lunch. It's fine.
That is interesting. She also is somebody who doesn't like kids, which I think is fun.
She doesn't like kids?
Yeah, because she says in the description, she says, who scares away children from crops and wields a sickle and a pair of shears to go about her work.
That's right.
So she scares him away. She's like, you shouldn't be working, child. You're interrupting my work. You need to leave. Like, you need to go. And she scares him away.
You are going to ruin the crops.
The crops should only be worked during business hours.
I will turn you into pesticide.
Which I think she'll kill anybody. Like, even if you try to work during your lunch, it's not even like your boss is making you work. If you were like, let me just get some things done in the meantime while I have some free time. Like, I'll eat lunch and then I'll also do work. I'm real behind. She's the type of boss who will sneak up behind you. She's like, did you clock out? Did you clock out for lunch? And you're like, yes. Like, then why are you here? No work during break hours.
Why are you not eating a salad?
The company has pizza. We're having pizza party today. So I just thought I'd catch up on some work. Work can wait. I don't pay overtime. Get. And you're just like, okay.
I kind of love her.
I think she's phenomenal, genuinely. And the picture that Kez has provided with us is of like this red-haired goddess, like flowers crowned
goth ginger.
Yeah. With like bugs and shit and like wheat coming out her head. I'm finding her very hot.
The sickle.
Both these pictures are hot. So I'm with it.
Balunitsa.
Yeah. So I'm imagining, let's to paint a little bit of a scenario here. Like we have painted one, but I think it's also a good one. This is literally like you're working in an office, maybe, office, doing your thing, you're working through. You have a lot of work.
Volunteering at a farm, just a place that requires a lot of diligence. Yeah,
we'll do a little bit of a midway here. You're doing some outside work. Yeah, like you work in construction, or maybe you work just outside. You're doing some outside work. It's lunchtime. You're like, you know what? We're so behind. I just want to like pick up. I'm just gonna like eat a power bar and just keep working, and then I'll just like I'll take a break near the end. As you're working, the sun is beating down on you. Like you're about to lift something up when a water bottle kind of just like comes by your face. Like you see like in the side of your vision like a water. You look up, and as the sun is like reflecting on the back, like kind of blinding you, you're looking at this, but there's still like it's more of like an ethereal glow is now happening of this woman, red hair dripping down. Maybe she's wearing fucking overalls, like white shirt, overalls, like a little bit of boots, and then we'll give her a cowboy hat. We'll make her country. And she hands you a water bottle. She's like, why are you working like you're working hard? It's like, yeah, I'm just so behind. He's like, no. Listen, you're gonna hurt yourself. You're gonna not be a good worker, and then like when you come back, you're not gonna be able to do efficiently. So take a break. Come on, take a break. And she kind of ushers you over. Run away with us for the summer. And so she takes you like under the shade of a tree, and you just talk. And she like gives you like this like bread, water. And you just talk, and just such a comforting presence. She's like, listen, you can get back to work when you need to, but for now, you need to rest. And it's just so comforting. And then you fuck on that tree.
Yeah.
What do you think, Joe?
I'm still thinking of this white girl who just summons crows and bugs if you don't take a lunch break. And there's something very admirable about that.
Yeah. a little bit behind the current of cleric's life and what cleric finds attractive. The thought of just overalls on is very hot for me. So imagining her like being there, like take a break, and she's just wearing overalls. I would take as many breaks as she needs. I would eat lunch. Yeah. I'd eat whatever she wants. You know what I'm saying?
Whatever she wants.
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 She wants.
Oh
my God. Papa's gal. She is the lady of the midday. As long as there's a field, as long as there's work that needs to be not done, it sounds like she's there.
Yeah, but she's more. I don't think she was appearing in an office. She's not appearing in cities. So if you're a city folk, just don't get it. This is a country girl. And all country roads take her home.
All country rolls.
Shout out to Gear 5 dropping today. No.
I think what she does do, if anything, in a city, she breaks the AC in an office building during lunch.
That's cruel. That's
which
cruel
forces people to leave the office and get lunch outside.
No, it just makes me suffer every time. Our again, another peel back the curtain. The AC in my office has been broken for a couple of days. It makes me die because I have to be there. I have to type notes.
Of course,
I have to meet with clients, and so like in the little bits, I'm suffering. And when I do leave, it's even hotter outside. So it really doesn't help in the long run. That suffering that makes me cry.
Okay, never mind.
But if we're doing that, yeah, she's somebody who wants to get you outside, wants you to work, wants you to do what you got to do. I don't think she's as common in cities, but if you are a country folk, Midwest, cowboy hat wearing, I think this is more common. So I'm gonna give this a 6 because there's not that many cities out there. There are more fields and country.
I'm gonna say 7.5 because maybe I'm like misunderstanding, but like I'm thinking of this more of like a time perspective. Lady of the midday.
Yeah. She's going to be there midday no matter what. Like, no matter where you are, she will exist in midday. You know, that's true. Okay. Maybe I'll raise it up to a 7. I don't think it's 7.5, but I think the most I'll do is a 7.
Yeah. Attractiveness is definitely
10.
Attractive.
10.
I don't know if it's 10, but it's definitely 9.
I'm going to stick with the 10.
Yeah.
Listen, a cunt coming up to me, cowboy hat, overalls. I'm folding. I'm folding so fast. Audacity.
It doesn't seem that audacious. I mean, maybe I'm like, maybe I'm not giving too much credit to like harvest gods, because in general, I mean, like she can cut your head off actually. So maybe there is some audacity.
Well, yeah, she will murder you if you even attempt to work in her hours. So I think there is an audacity factor there. If you even, because it's not said that she gives like benefit of the doubt. She just murders somebody. Like she'll ask them questions, complicated stuff, and if they try to change the subject, she'll kill them.
Yeah, and I'm prone to being ambiguous because I'm an alcoholic. Not an alcoholic. What? I'm a workaholic. So I feel like she'll get me one of these days. I'll say, I guess 4.
Yeah, I think I'll do a 4.5. I'll do a little bit more.
I'm an alcoholic.
We almost have to pause the episode.
Oh.
Finally, parental
4.5.
approval. Would our Christian immigrant parents...
my parents love a country girl.
Same, to be honest.
You know, like someone who enjoys the labor of like curating, cultivating something and like resting. This is an old lady. This is like the girl that you bring to your grandparents even.
Yeah. My parents are big on Amish culture. I think I've talked about this before. Have I not? They like to go to Amish country and hang out there.
Oh, okay. Yes.
They'd like to there's something there that they value and they like of just like the food, the culture of just chilling. So I think if I brought home like a country girl, first of all, they'd be upset that they're white. So that immediately drops down some points. But there would be a bit mix of being like, my dad would be like, oh, you don't have to work your hands? I love help. I always need help outside. And my mom would be like, as long as they're sweet and they want you to take breaks, I think that I appreciate that. So I'm gonna give this a 7.
I'm gonna give this a 9.
Okay.
My parents are very diligent people. They really believe in the art and act of cultivating something, and I hate going outside. So it would be a significant life change.
Okay. I value it. I'm with it. But with that, for the final time this episode, let's take our break that we're supposed to because it's getting close to lunchtime.
Take a break.
Run away with us for the summer. We'll go upstate.
All right,
Joe?
cleric.
Yeah, for the final time, for a little bit, what's the scores?
Cleric for the Baladnitsa. You got a 4. Sorry, Jesus Christ. You got a 7.1. I got a 7.4. And altogether, Lady Midday has a 7.3, which makes Lady Midday the winner of today's episode, with Baku right in the middle and Belphegor right at the shit fart toilet last.
Where he belongs. And you know what? I think that makes her one of our higher ranked monsters. Just genuinely. I think that bumps her up to the top 10. Yeah.
She
which is good.
Is following the ranks of the 7.3s, the Golden Dragon and the Kitsune.
Oh, okay. That's good to hear. Kaz, you picked a good one today. But
you won this time, Kaz.
But next time you definitely won't. But I think this pick has inspired me a bit, Joe.
Are you gonna take a rest?
Well, I think we should take a rest. I think we've been working very hard without any really kind of breaks. And I think we should take a little bit of a rest time to, reevaluate, revamp, and take a little bit of a break. I think we've been working hard.
I think so too.
Yeah. So for those of you who are wondering, I think MFA is going to take a bit of a break. We're not leaving. Don't worry. We're not going anywhere. We're all still going to be making stuff and working on things. Don't panic. We're not going away. We're still making stuff. We're still going to be planning things for MFA in the future. But we think there's going to be this little pause on recordings and episodes for a little bit, not too long. We do want to take a little bit of a mental health break and just to revamp take a break for ourselves and then take a break for the show so we can start working a little bit hard, working back on it and things on the side. So don't worry. We're still around. The show's not going away. You want anything to add, Joe, before we go on a little bit of a break, a little bit of hiatus?
Eat your lunch. Make sure to have lunch.
Make sure to eat lunch.
Make sure to eat lunch.
Or Joe will eat your pinkies. What?
Penis.
All right. Yeah. Well, from all of us from MFA, Cleric, Joe, Kez, Gwen, Ribby, for a little bit, this is our final time saying a big hearty goodbye.
MFA will be going on break until sometime in October. We're going to be using that time to add to our website, rework our Ko-fi tiers a little bit, and make a few new segments for the show so that you guys can participate a little bit more. It's going to be a lot of fun. In the meantime, you can find us on Twitter at MonsterLoverPod. You can stay tuned for our return, keep up with us, and let us know what you think about the show. Our intro and outro song is Fiction/Reality by Hypnosister. Thank you so much to the band for letting us use it. Shout out to everybody that's been supporting us on Ko-fi. That's Gwendolyn, Amelia G, Chris Chan J, Daydori, Akima, Bunhun, and Zombie Fighter 89. Welcome to the crew. Thank you to each and every one of you for supporting us. It means a lot that you would do so. And it keeps me fed, so I appreciate it very much. Our Ko-fi members have access to the outtakes from each and every one of our episodes, as well as the scoreboard that keeps track of every monster we've reviewed on the show. Right now, memberships start at $3 a month for access to all of this. If you want to support us in other ways, you can rate us on Spotify, leave a review on Apple Podcasts, or tell your friends about the show and get more people to listen. Anyway, that's all from me. Thank you so much for listening. And until next time, monster fuckers.
You're finally doing your actual job.
Oh my God.